Yo, what's up everybody? So as you guys can see by the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be going over the top 10 rarest cars in Driving Empire. Now, I do want to make a disclaimer, and I do want to get this out the way, that the first kind of like 10 through 6, I'm not very too sure on. I'm kind of just guessing a little bit. Honestly, this whole thing is just kind of making an educated guess, because we really have like no actual way of knowing how many units sold for everything, and you know, we can't get like an accurate number. But I did like spend a lot of time actually making this list. Shout out to Hydra also for helping me out with this, but I think this is kind of like the most accurate list which we can, you know, get at the moment. A lot of things have changed, a lot of cars have been removed, so let's get straight into it. And the car which we have for the 10th spot is right here, the Zablingo Luca H, aka the AMG GTR in the game, Mercedes AMG GTR. I do believe this car came out like around maybe 2022, around 2023. It's not like too much of an old model, but it was just kind of a Mercedes that a lot of people didn't buy. It's kind of like a car which people didn't really use a lot, so not really limited, just kind of like a normal on-sale car. But I don't really see a lot of people using this nowadays, and I also like don't think a lot of people bought it. Oh my god, bro, I just realized this is broken. Look at the double spoiler. Moving on to the 9th car, we have the Jaguar XJ13. Now, we currently do still have this in the game. So as you guys can see, it's obviously a classic car, which is also licensed. And this car, I believe, is also the rarest licensed limited car, because you had to buy about, I think, 6 to 7 Jaguars, which also costs around like 6 to 8 million total. So not a lot of people did it. It was only like a 1 week limited. It wasn't like 2 weeks or anything, which we have now. And yeah, only like 3,000 units of these sold, so it makes it really, really rare. Moving on to the 8th spot, we have this car right here, which is a Subaru WRX STI, known in the game as a 2001 Coles VAWL. Kind of hard to pronounce, but this car was in a 90s legend pack, which I believe was like with another BMW. It was basically a fake model car pack, basically, which came out around 2023. And I'm sure maybe some of you guys might have not even like seen this in the game before. I don't know. Me personally, I didn't really see this in the game before. I was actually kind of surprised. This was one of the cars like maybe a couple months ago, which I saw for the first time. I was like, wait, that's actually like a car which I haven't actually seen before. Because I feel like I've already seen everything, but this is one of them cars which I really didn't, you know, see often at all. At least people use them. So yeah, I believe the car pack was pretty cheap. Also, it was only like 300 Robux or something like that, so it was pretty cheap. But I don't see a lot of people using it, so I would kind of, you know, classify this as semi-rare, and that's kind of why I'm putting it in the 8th spot. So yeah, and the car which we have in the 7th spot right here is the Spiker CA. Absolutely beautiful, stunning car. But we can already see, just looking at the dashboard, that this is definitely an older model. And yeah, I believe this is called the Machiwa FV16 in the game. This came out around 2021, I believe. As you can see, it's a little bit of an older model. I think it was like 2021, something like that. 2020. I think it's 2021 though. I'm pretty sure it's like 2021. Now, this was just like a normal on-sale car. It wasn't limited or in a car pack or anything. But I do believe not a lot of people really bought it. And I think this actually came off sale around maybe 8 months ago, or like almost a year ago now. It's been off sale for a little while now, so it was just kind of a car which a lot of people didn't buy. This was never overpowered like that in terms of performance, just kind of a car which you get for the looks. But it is definitely one of the like the nicest, fakest models. Definitely like the interior, we could see, looks really, really nice. And yeah, that's why I put this car at the 7th spot. And moving on to the 6th spot, here we have the Mercedes SLR McLaren. This car is beautiful, looks absolutely nice, and we can already see by the dashboard, this is definitely an older model. We could see here, I do believe this car was added around 2021, 2020, 2021, kind of like around there. To my knowledge, this car wasn't like in a car pack or was limited or anything. Just kind of became really, really rare because a lot of people didn't really buy it, and was kind of like an older model. So yeah, just kind of a car which again a lot of people didn't buy, and that kind of overall gives it kind of its rarity. It's a really, really nice model. We could definitely see it's a much older model. We could see a lot of differences here. This would be really cool if we got a license in the game. But yeah, I mean, this thing is like actually sick. And for the 5th spot, we have the famous AMG 1, AMG Project 1, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, this car is amazing. As we can see, it has this livery here. Really, really cool. I absolutely love this car. And this car was in a car pack, which I believe was a Mercedes car pack, I believe, which was in 2022. So yeah, basically, long story short, it was in a car pack, and I believe the Mercedes car pack was pretty expensive back then. I don't exactly remember how much it was, but it was around 3,000 or more. So it was definitely a little bit expensive. So a good amount of people bought it, but not a lot of people use this one anymore. So yeah, this was in a car pack in 2022, and that basically makes it like as rare as it is now. I don't really see much people using it. It's not obviously the rarest on the list, but definitely top 5, I'd say. Just kind of like guessing and estimating. As I said, this is just me kind of like making an educated guess and stuff, but I think this is an overall pretty good ranking for the Mercedes Project 1. But yeah, this thing looks absolutely amazing. I'm gonna give you guys a headphone warning in advance. Yeah, we could see the famous Mercedes 300 SLR, which I think a lot of you guys already know kind of where this car comes from. But if you guys don't know, this car was around 2023, I believe, when they actually added the crates back in the game, Gambling Empire, whatever you want to call it. And this was a 5-star rarity car, so this was kind of one of the hardest cars to get. There were 5 rarities, I believe. It was like 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, and 4-star and 5-star obviously being the kind of like hardest ranking to actually get. with like a very, very low chance, like 0.3 or some crazy number. So yeah, this has been, you know, like a very, very rare car in the game for a while, ever since it came out. Surprisingly, we still don't have Mercedes license in the game, so this is just gonna stay for now, but this also has a chance of being removed soon in the game. And yeah, for the time being, I will kind of put this around the 4th rarest cars in the game, and we'll kind of remain like that until we get Mercedes licensing, which could actually happen soon. So we'll see about that. And for the 3rd spot, here we have the Mazda Miata, aka the Rainet's Taycan in the game. So this was actually a very old model. We could see right here by the interior, it is not like, you know, detailed at all. I can get out real quick and I can kind of just show you guys. It is not detailed at all. Here we have Hydra right here, but yeah, we can see the dashboard. Yeah, you can obviously very much tell it's a Wait For It model if you guys didn't know. Wait For It was what the game was called when it originally released, then it changed over to Drive an Empire, I believe, in like 2021, 2020, something like that. But yeah, this is a 2019 Wait For It model. It was kind of one of the first cars which kind of got in the game, and this car was pretty cheap. It was only 25,000, but the keyword is 2019. Not a lot of people played the game as they do now, so not a lot of people just really bothered to buy this car, and yeah, that's why it kind of remains as rare as it is now. I bet you guys really don't see this around too much. It is kind of a rare car, honestly, and this could maybe even be argued for the 2nd or the 1st spot, but I'd say top 3 is overall a pretty good spot to put this car. Mazda MX-5 Miata, here we have it, and yeah. And then for the 2nd spot, we have the Mercedes CLK GTR, aka the Zablingo 604, and this car I believe was around, oh my god, my map is not rendering, but I believe this car was released around 2020 or 2021. It has been in the game for a pretty long time, kind of one of the oldest models which you still currently have in the game. We could see we don't even have like a speedometer here. I don't even know what's going on with the interior. Let me get out real quick. We can see the interior looks pretty nice like most cars, but look, we don't even have a speedometer. I don't even know what's going on here. We just have blinkers. Is dashboard behind it? Where did the dashboard go? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know where the dashboard is. There's just nothing. There's no speedometer, no way to tell your speed. But that's kind of just, you know, letting you guys already know that this is definitely an old model, as we could see here. And yeah, this was around 2020 to 2021, I believe they released it. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like a limited or anything, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. If I am mistaken, I'll just put it up on the screen if it wasn't limited. But yeah, this is kind of just another one of those old cars which a lot of people really didn't use and like didn't really buy, and you really don't see around too much because it was kind of like, you know, during the earlier periods of the game. So let's now move on to the overall rarest car in Drive an Empire, and that car is the Shelby Cobra right here, also known as an M2 Strike in the game. And here we have it. We can obviously kind of see this is an old model right here by the dashboard. That's kind of how you could tell. But yeah, I believe this car came out like in the game around 2020, maybe 2019. I think it was around 2020, and I think this might have actually been a limited. I'm not too sure if it was limited or not, but a lot of people didn't buy it, and you rarely see this car in the game. Like, this is definitely one of the rarest cars. As I said, a lot of these could probably be switched around, but this is just kind of what I'm guessing. This is definitely top 3 if it's not first, but I would just overall put this at first because this car is kind of like the one which I really don't see a lot of people using kind of the most. And yeah, that's overall my list for the top 10 rarest cars in the game. Now, some extras we can kind of put in, I guess. There's really not much, honestly. Ever since they removed a lot of the cars which we had, which were really rare. For example, we had the Ford GT-LM, we have the Koenigsegg 101, the Porsche 911 RSR. I don't know, they removed a lot, so it's kind of hard to tell which are kind of like the rarest in the game. But to be honest, as I make this video, I'm kind of realizing we really don't have that many rare cars in Drive an Empire anymore. It was kind of hard to find. There's really not that many rare cars, and soon there really won't be like much at all, which is kind of insane to say. That's kind of honestly sad, but yeah, a lot of the rarest cars have been removed, which were rare for a long time. Ford GT-LM, Porsche 911 RSR, as I already said. Now, some bonus cars. I do want to maybe talk about the Fusion 200. Now, this isn't really rare. I'm just kind of, you know, venturing off about cars, which I really don't see people use that much anymore. This is from the 2023 Winterfest event. It's not really a rare car, just kind of a car which I don't really see people using. And then kind of like this one, I wouldn't say it's rare. It's definitely not rare, but I don't see people using this. It was pretty easy to get. I believe this is like a 2 to 3 star car in the crate, so it wasn't hard at all. But yeah, it's pretty much it for the top 10 overall rarest cars in the game. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I just kind of made like an educated guess with this, so if you guys could let me know your top 10 list or anything else that I kind of missed or should have added, let me know. Maybe I'll do another one of these videos in the future. And yeah, that is pretty much it for today's video. Have a good one, everybody, and bye.